Here's something cool you can do for the blue turn playing cards. Now I'm going to start off by giving these cards just a quick mix. I'm going to do it face up for you so you can see all the cards are different, they're in no particular order, and we'll just give these a quick shuffle and a quick cut. Now I'm going to invite you to select any card, so when you feel like it, just touch any card, it doesn't matter which one. So 6 of hearts. Now you'll notice that the back is blue and all the backs in this deck are blue, but if I take the red from the ink of your heart and I place it on the back of your selected card, watch what happens. Your card should in fact turn red. So the only card in the blue deck that turns red, but we can take it a step further. Check this out. If I turn your card over onto the deck, snap my fingers, you see not only your card turns red, but every single card in the deck turns red. Now that is turning red for the turn playing cards. This is turn red. Now it makes use of the different colour double backer that you get with the turn playing cards. Just one side is red, the other side is blue. Now this allows you to combine both the decks, and I'm going to teach you my original colour changing deck routine that I use all the time. I've taught it before on the Roulette playing cards tutorial, and we really had a nice gambling narrative with that. So this is turn red. Let's get into it. Here's what you need for this one. So you need the red turn playing cards and you need the blue turn playing cards. And we're also going to use a tiny bit of double-sided stick tape. Now in the blue deck you're going to get a different colour double backer, and this allows you to combine both the decks in lots of different ways, but I'm going to show you my colour changing deck routine. So that's all you need, double backer from the blue deck, and we're going to combine that with the red deck. Or you can do it the other way around, so use the blue back with the red deck, but we're going to do it this way. So we don't need the blue deck anymore, we're going to put that to side, and now we're in play. So this is the only setup, is the blue back, and we're going to have that face up. Now what we're going to do is just put a tiny little bit of double-sided stick tape in the centre of this card, and that's going to allow us to do the last kind of stick. It's going to stick and it's going to turn over and you're going to have a face card on there. So first off, let's just put a little bit of double-sided stick tape. So we're just going to take a tiny piece of double-sided sticky tape. You just need a little kind of square of it. We're going to place that right in the centre on the blue side. Now before you peel off the other side, it's a good idea to kind of really burnish this down. So I use just the blunt end of the Sharpie. I kind of really make sure that's stuck down. Then you can kind of peel off the top paper, and then we're going to do the same again. We're just going to really burnish this down, and this is to make sure that it only sticks to this blue side kind of semi-permanently, and that it won't come off this card and stick to the other face. So we just want to make sure it's really stuck to this blue card. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Just attach a little bit of double-sided stick tape to this blue side. So now you're set up with the double-sided stick tape, let's get into the presentation. So red deck, any order, it doesn't matter. Blue card face up on top with the stick tape. Now you're going to take the deck out and you're going to immediately turn it face down. So it's a little bit sticky here, so just be careful it doesn't kind of stick to your hand, but that doesn't really happen, but just something to bear in mind. And now we're going to do kind of my favourite way to show, kind of, you can either do it with strip cuts, so we're just kind of flashing and just showing that all the cards in this deck are blue. So that's done just by peeling a few off the top and then just flashing this side. So it's just an easy way to show that all the cards are blue when in fact they're all red. We just kind of keep flashing this side, and then you can place that back on the bottom. And yeah, so there's lots of different ways to do this. I use David Davies Collivagen cut quite a lot, and that keeps the deck in order. So you just got to do it this way a little bit just to make sure you don't flash anything, and you can just keep flashing and showing a blue back. So however you want to do that, just keep flashing that blue back. The easiest way is just a series of strip cuts kind of thing. So that's the first thing. It's just to convince them that all the cards are blue. After that, we're going to get a card selected, so we're just going to spread through and just invite them to choose any card. So let's say they take Queen of Spades. You're going to out-jog that, clamp it with your thumb as you square up the deck. Now my right hand creates this kind of shape, thumb goes on the back of the deck, and then my middle finger contacts the right side of the out-jogged card, and it just cocks it over this way as I square up the deck. So out-jog, clamp, close, sort of 45-degree angle out this way. You don't want it sticking out too much, but just enough so you can kind of strip this card out. So that's what we're going to make it look like, that we just out-jog a card, we take it, and then we just take the card out. If we did do that, it would have a red back. So this is where this little slight comes in now. So you've side-jogged that card. Now we're going to get a break under that double backer, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this double backer out, and I'm going to align it with the top card as I strip this card out. So I've got a break, my right hand grips here so it's secure, I grab and then I strip out everything. I flashed it there for you, and then I turn it over, so I'm hiding the fact that that's got a red back. And the lower down in the deck makes this kind of easier, so you could kind of spread through and say touch any card, and then you're kind of forcing them to take somewhere near the bottom, and this just means there's less space between these two cards, so it's easier to align them. So that's just a little tip. It doesn't have to, but if it's at the top, then there's just a little bit more kind of space for these to align. So if you can get a card selected sort of midway down, works sort of easier. So break, grab with the middle fingers and the thumb on the back, and then I'm going to strip this bottom card out along with this selected card. So at the moment that's got a red back, but when I strip this out and then I'll flash, it's now got a blue back. So that's the first kind of little slight we're going to do here, just to convince them again that every card has got a blue back. Now what I do, I turn this over, and again I just separate these cards a fraction just by pulling down with the little finger, and just a little bit of pressure with the thumb just cause that card to pop up. You don't want to do that this way for them, so that's done there. And now what I do, I feed the deck into that gap. So it's a very small break to begin with, but as I come over, I pull down with the little finger and I allow that deck to go inside here. So, and it helps if you kind of push the deck quite, if you do it at the back here, you might get a flash. So I kind of open this up and I come over and I place the deck in, and now that double backer is going to get fed back on the bottom as I take this card over. So once more, side jog, break, strip out along with the card, flash the blue back, turn it over, pull down with the pinky, feed the deck back in, load that card back on the bottom as you pull the selected card over. Now immediately I use the left edge of this card to flip the deck over. So they think this is a blue card, but it's actually red now. So it's a really nice little moment as well. So you've gone through the kind of strip cuts to show it's all blue. They've selected the card from the middle, you turn it over, you show it's blue, you come back, you load the deck in, straight away you turn the deck over, showing that it's blue. Now you can do your magical gesture, so whatever you want you can kind of turn. You can spin this card, say look, we're going to turn it red. Turn the card over and it turns red after they've seen they're all blue. Now here's the kicker. I place this face up on top of the double backer, and because we've got that bit of stick tape, all I need to do now is just press down very slightly as I spread the cards to show all the deck turns red. And now, because this is stuck on the double backer, I can very fairly turn this over and that card has changed red. So you get a kind of kicker with the deck turning red, but then when you turn this card over it's really impossible because it's so clean thanks to that little bit of double-sided stick tape. So you've stripped out, break, comes over, you flip the deck over, making sure it doesn't spread and flash, and then you can do your gesture, say look, this card turns red. And the crazy thing is, look, watch, if I put the ink onto this deck. Now I just press down a fraction. As I spread, the whole deck turns red. Every single card. Now this is a really nice moment because they can clearly see that card is turned, and then when I put it on the deck and say, look, not just that card turns red, snap, press down, and the press down is just done as you drag, and then every single card, and I stop about halfway, turn this one over, turns red. And thanks to the double-sided stick tape, we hide this blue back. So it's a lovely moment when this card, you say it turns red, flip it over, snap, press, spread, spread a bit more, and then about when you get to there, flip this card over as well, and then there is no blue card to be seen. So that is turn red. I'll do a quick run through for you now. Here's a quick run through. So we've got the different colour double backer, blue side up on a red deck, sticky tape up top. We're going to get it out and immediately turn it over, and then we're going to do our series of strip cuts. So we're going to flash and show that every card in this deck is blue. So you're not saying that, you're just showing it through your actions. So unless you can say, look, we're just going to give these a quick mix and a shuffle. Next I invite someone to select a card. So let's say they take the jack, I out jog it, I square, and then I come over and I cock it over to the left. Get a break under the double backer, you strip the double backer out along for the ride with the selected card, making sure it aligns. You immediately just give them a little flash just to show them it is a blue card when in fact it's red. Break, come over, feed the deck inside as that card gets passed over this side, and then flip the deck over. Now you can do your magical gesture, say look, we're going to turn this card red. Not just this card turns, every single card in the deck turns red. Flip this card over, continue to spread. So that's turn red. Now to really sell this trick, if we've got a red deck, we place the blue back on top, and we're going to go through the trick as I described. If we place this deck into the blue box, so it's the red deck with the blue double backer going on top, if we place that into the blue box, now when you get the box out, you can show that it's blue. You're not drawing attention to the fact that it's blue, but you're really showing them the box. They can see it's blue. Now when I open and I carefully take the cards out, and I do this by my index finger here, I squeeze the box to make sure that that double stick tape hasn't stuck to here. So index finger out, and I just drop the cards, careful not to flash any of the red. So squeeze the box, drop it, and then you pull everything out, and they're seeing blue cards come out of a blue deck. Now when you go into the trick, so let's just quickly do the last kind of bit. So I'm going to take a card out, come here, show blue again, come over, flip. Now when I do the change and it turns red, it's just got even more impact because they've seen it come out of the blue box. Then when I do the final change and then the final turnover, everything's turned red and it's come out of the blue box. Now if you have got a red box somewhere, and like for instance you take the blue apparent deck out of the blue box, place the blue box in your back pocket, but you've also got the red box in your back pocket, so when you've done the deck change, then you can go back into your pocket, pull out the other box, which is now the red deck, place it into the red deck, place it into the red box, sorry, just as a final little kicker. So you've just changed both the cards and the box. You don't draw attention to this, but it's really going to hit them.